going on, traders? Welcome to today's live trading session. So today the biggest gapper so far is Humo, which you have the chart of right now. I located some shares and I'm still looking to short it at the open after a spike, of course. But right now I've got a long position on, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I saw. So first of all, I looked back at the history on Humo, and what I saw was every single time we start, gapping up, we usually start to fade and break under support area. So this one, for example, and we start reclaiming. We start reclaiming towards the open. So that's one chart. I looked back over the last 5 years, but those charts are from last year. This one exactly the same, so we break under support and then we start reclaiming before the open. And last example right here, we start fading and we reclaim towards the open. So that's exactly what I'm looking at, what I was looking at this morning. So they started, ramping it up after hours on Tuesday, exactly Tuesday, so yesterday, and this morning they started ripping it up, and everyone, so the shorts are pretty hard to get this morning, and on this breakdown, we probably trapped some shorts, look at the volume here, but right away we started, kind of reclaiming, and we saw some bigger volume, right, and you don't want to see that, so the bounces should be on low volume, and the breakdowns on bigger volume, which first looked that way, kind of the volume here bigger, but it started reclaiming. So on this kind of move back up towards the range right here, as we broke back into the range, I started longing. So I've got a 3.1 average right now, and we are at 3.4, so 3.6 at the bid. And what I'm going to be looking for is I want to see how we react to this 340, 350 area. So if we start stuffing hard every single time, I'm going to be looking to take some off, all right? If not all. And if we start ramping, kind of parabolic towards 375, I will take it off there. Plan is still working. What I did was YUMA came to the resistance, so it got to that 340, 350 area I was talking about previously, dipped back down, and what I saw was a lot of absorbing towards the low threes. And as you can see, it's pretty much the bottom of this range. So what we got was a range reclaim, a pullback, and what I'm looking for is during the next 15 minutes until the open that they basically push it towards the resistance or over. That's the plan, and I added into right here at 3.1 because there was a big bid at 305, kind of bid propping. We didn't test him, but the bids just over it kind of absorbed everything. So I was thinking 3010, risking 305, and my target is at 350. That's a 40-cent profit target versus a 5 cents stop, so an 8-to-1 risk reward, which was great, especially because I was in a position just before risking the lows, and I could I could basically double up and risk less. I covered a piece of Humo at 338, which is right here, because we were getting too overextended for me, too many candles. We're right at the resistance line, so I covered half just to be sure because I didn't want to, have a pullback back to my average and then have the open. The open is going to be pretty volatile, I think. So yeah, I covered just a piece just to take some profits to start the day right before the market open. Still have my 313 average, so I'm risking basically 7 or 8 cents on my position. And yeah, I'm hoping for a push towards 375 at the open, and if not, I'll just cut the rest of my position, so the 1/2, and the trade will still be a winner because from the 313 average I covered at 338 for a nice 25-cent profit, and if I cover here, that's going to be 7 cents as a loss. So it's going to be a trade that should bring in 20 cents. Market open is going to be in a few seconds. I'm going to take you with me I still have one half of my position from my average of 313. We're now at 360. So this might be a really, really nice trade. All right, market open, instant gap down. All right. So sold the rest of my position right here. That's really, really, that's something, right? So that's exactly why I sold one half of my position, right? So we were at 360, and right away we get that massive, massive selling. They sold just pretty much everything. Covered just before the hold at 325, and yeah, closed it out for a really nice profit. So overall, started at 312.5. That was my average, and I sold at 331 average. So that's exactly why you want to take profit. It's pretty, I'd rather would have seen a pop just because I've got some shares that I want to use to short. But yeah, there's pretty much nothing I can do there. I mean, it's a hold. I have to respect it. So maybe we won't even get the chance to long it. But I guess we'll see soon. Maybe we'll get a pop later on. Maybe this is a short trap, but the locates are really pretty much not available. So YUMA, still the only ticker I've been trading this morning. What did I do and why did I do it? So at the open, right away into a halt. That's where I had to cut my long, and as you can see, the idea was right, but the halt right away, the hold down before I could do anything, it's not typical, especially if the last candle closed at like 360, we open at 325 right away into a hole. That's really not what you want to see. So a bit for the backstory of Huma. So it had 7 runs in the last 5 years, and every single run closed red. Now, it doesn't mean this one will too. I do believe we'll get there, but it's not the point. So the point is, we closed red 7 times, and on those 7 runs, every single time, longs were involved that were looking for the move up, and they got bagged. So we've got 7 runs of bags, so people, traders that held on to their long trade and that are waiting for a gap up and run to sell. So those 7, then the locates on Huma were super hard to get. So no locates anywhere. I was struggling to get any. Finally, I got some just before the market opened. And so this morning, I wanted the long, right? So the long idea was they're going to push it into the open, and we're going to have a spike because the monthly stats say so. So the monthly stats, basically I track everything that gaps up, and this month we had some really nice runs out of the gates. So that's what I was looking at, and I started shorting pretty early, a bit too early in my opinion. Once we kind of stopped right away, because keep in mind we're gapping up from 180, so 100% gap up, and I shorted here, right, as it stuffed just before $4. I thought $4 might be the level they are looking at, and the previous runs $4 was a major area, right? So support and resistance, the last runs. After that, I started shorting the overextension here, and I added right here as we couldn't really bounce, right? So once, twice, and then 3 times, couldn't break it. So I thought this might be the break down area, but still didn't work out. So I had to cut once more. And after that, kind of left it alone because now we were getting over basically the pre-market highs, which was, unknown territory. I didn't know exactly how it would react. And on that move down, I thought $5 got tested pretty wildly. And as you can see on the pullbacks, we didn't see a lot of selling volume. And on this one, not much as well. And then I got some long in here thinking $5 break and maybe a stuff over 5, so where I could sell and then short into. but we didn't get that. So once we kind of tried to pop, and I looked at the volume, and the volume was just not there. I sold, and I started getting short more and more and more size into here. All right, so more and more, and then we got the breakdown. My stop was at 91st, but as I got bigger and bigger here, I had to move my stop tighter because I didn't want, you know, instant run, instant pop over 5, because on that size that wouldn't have been nice at all. So put down my stop, and I moved it down to the breakdown candle. All right, so we have made a lot of selling orders in the 80s here and in the 70s. And yeah, I put it down right here thinking, all right, if it reclaims, I'm going to be pretty much out for 5-cent loss. But if I'm right and we do start to unwind, I'm going to, you know, looking to take the whole move down. Again, now that we've come back so far, we've got every single long from basically over here, so over that breakout area, all that volume, right? So all that volume, all those longs that got in here, they're bagged now. So they're trying to sell on every single pop, and we've got the 7 previous runs that are helping a lot, you know, with all those longs that are selling as well. So I'm going to be looking for cover in at the 350 area, right around there, to take some risk off. And any pop during the midday is going to be an adding spot for me personally. And we had a few other tickers popping today. So we had TTOO. TTOO is has a bit of dilution, but we didn't get any pop towards that $2 area. I was thinking maybe a $2 pop towards 2 to 10, right? And then stuff getting heavier in here, get short, move under 2 to VWAP, bounce, add more, and then take it off the next leg down. After that, we had ABIO. ABIO, I was looking at it in the morning, right? So I wanted a pop, we didn't get it, and then I saw this kind of wicked action here, but I was looking at the volume. The volume was just, you know, not really there. We could have popped more, so I decided, you know what, it's heavy, it's toppy, I know it, I'm seeing it, but you know, I was really focused and zoned in on Huma, so I had to focus on one thing, and yeah, I said to myself, like, all right, it's all right. I know I'm probably gonna miss this, but I'd rather, you know, miss one trade and nail the other one rather than you know, 50-50 on both trades and kind of mess up both because I'm not concentrating on one thing. Other than that, we had Fran as well. All right, so this ticker ran yesterday. And kind of absorbed the whole day. You know, I posted the chart on Twitter yesterday, and then we got that move after hours. And this morning I wanted to short it, but like the spread was just so big, so I wanted to short right in here at 7 a.m. on that 1250 area, but the spread was like 80 cent or something. So I said to myself, like, it's really not worth it at all for me to start shorting with an 80 cents, you know, spread, and then if it starts opening up some more, I'm gonna have to you know, take it off for a loser. Like the risk wasn't set perfectly, so I decided to just leave it alone after that. Right now it's kind of, you know, grinding up, grinding down, kind of in an uptrending range. So right here, and here. I do think this one has potential for the short side today, but you know, it's an earnings winner and so on, and it's getting into that price range over $10, which I really don't like. Institutions are starting to you know, mess with it, so I'd rather completely avoid it, completely avoid the headache, and be focused and zoned in on Huma, which is now bouncing. But as you can see, we've got a really nice area of resistance now at that 425-ish area. I'm not looking to add, right? So I wanted to add more here because every time we popped, it got heavier and heavier. I wanted more size, so 1/2 more in here. But I didn't get it. I didn't get it because there were just no locates, which makes it even better. You know, in the end, less locates means less shorts to squeeze, and I'm happy with that. So we got a nice bounce, right, just over the previous support area, which now became resistance. And I tried to locate more shares, right? Because I'm using everything I got right now already from a 473 average, so from right here. And I wanted to add, 50% here and put my stop at break even. So break even for the first entry. So for 2/3 of my share size, if I would have gotten the ad right here. I had the locates on my locating monitor, but as soon as I pressed it, they were gone. So looks like I'm not gonna get the ad I wanted. But I mean, it's still all right. I've got good share size. But yeah, I would have really liked to get bigger, especially when I can basically risk the same dollar amount and have the same win rate and add to it. But yeah, didn't happen. Too bad. And I'll wait for the next opportunity. Maybe we'll get some kind of range midday in between $3.50 and $4, something like that. TTOO this morning, I was telling you that I wanted a pop, and exactly that happened. So as I told you, the problem with shorting something that doesn't pop, especially in a strong market, is that you might get ripped on, right? So it might just short squeeze you out. And that's exactly what I just took advantage of. So I didn't get long, but I had it on my screen. And right here, once it popped, I was like, all right, this is getting more volume, and it started really running. I mean, every single short here panicked out, most likely. I mean, most had their stop maybe here at 205, at 201, $2, maybe some here at 190. So it kind of, like a domino effect. So they got out, that squeezed it out to the next the resistance area where shorts were, the stops were, and it kind of squeezed them out. So what I took advantage of was the pop over $2. It was super heavy. It's still heavy. I got in at 201 and I added some at 95, and I'm going to be looking for the move back down into the range. That's going to be the plan. As for Humo, nothing too particular right now. It's kind of bouncing off the VWAP area, so I'm going to be looking at it right now. If it kind of starts breaking here the 250 area on volume, it might be a bit dangerous. Fran, exactly what I expected. Kind of this range up. Everyone's kind of longing, thinking it's going to go up. But yeah, the locates were pretty expensive on this one. The trend was starting pre-market. So yeah, breakdown, and that's basically it. Didn't take any locates on this one. As I told you, just super expensive, and I don't like the spread. The range isn't great. I don't like the spreads range over $10. And yeah, I'm gonna be managing my positions. TTOO is already coming back down. And he got completely chipped away, which was like, you really don't want to be seeing that, like when it's grinding and you've got a big order, but it's like not reacting to it. So yeah, took it off. Huma, the plan is now just waiting for higher, waiting for heaviness, and hitting it possibly on the backside. So waiting for the pop, then consolidation, short in there, then breakdown, pop, and add more into that, risking the average basically. It's been trading in a kind of range for an hour. It's been holding up because of big bids, so propping the whole time. It's not really organic, so I'm expecting some kind of really big rejection towards VWAP. So the bid propping is at 465. I believe if we break under that, we might see a really nice crash towards 440s. TTOO started building along on this one. There is a big soaker at 215, so he was showing 30,000 shares, but he got completely taken out. With like I think he only had 2,000 shares left. TOO working right away. This is what I mean. So what they did is they absorbed everything from the breakdown. They held it, made it look weak, absorbed everything, and now they're pushing back up. So right now we are back in the range, as you can see right here. and we are breaking out of this kind of wedge triangle formation that we just reclaimed. So I'm going to be looking for some continuation towards 230, pullback to add more size to the trade, and my target is going to be right around 245-ish. Alright, so I just got filled some more right here at 220, so I've got a 215 average, and I added at 221. Right now I've got a 218 average and I'm risking 215. So right now we're seeing a lot of absorbing on the ask. So for example, 469 just absorbed 3 point, that's what I mean. So right now he pulled. That's exactly what I want to see when I'm in this type of trade. Yeah, I'm pretty clear that this would happen right there. So he got basically chopped up. The ask was absorbing, and just no buying whatsoever, right? So exactly then, when he gets chopped up, you know, and it can't bounce just a bit, well, that's exactly when it breaks. So this one working right now, and TTOO working as well. So I just got my ad pretty much bottom tick here, and right now it's kind of curling back up. So we're gonna be looking for higher on this one. TTOO, what happened was I reversed my position on this pop. All right, so I was long, got stopped out, bottom tick out, and we got that pop, no volume, and I saw some selling, so I started short, worked first, but then kind of reclaimed, so I took it off and I restarted the long because for this position, the plan was, you know, a breakdown under 15, and we didn't get that, and we started, you know, accumulating more and more at that 215, and once we kind of popped over, I started long. I added some more, and then I took some off a few minutes ago at 37, right? So 1.5 here, and I just added some more. So I'm going to be adding more on the dip for the next move up. Regarding Huma, this one real headache. So started again shorting this pop here. Still holding. My stop is at, all right, nice. My stop is at 80. All right, so right here I almost got stopped out again, but I didn't. So I didn't get stopped out here. If I get stopped out, it's the way it is. I mean, I can't change that. I'm trading my plan. And yeah, that will be it for the day if I get stopped out there. I'm still holding my TTOO, and that's gonna be pretty much the only positions I'm gonna manage. One ticker that kind of surprised everyone was Fran. Fran, so broke down a bit in the morning and then kind of reclaimed VWAP over under, and then started really going, you know, to that 15 area. I do believe we can head higher, especially with the big volume we saw right here, 200,000 shares. You know, that's a candle worth 3 million. So yeah, possibly move up. Not gonna trade it. Gonna stay away from that. Got stopped out at 80 here, but it didn't in the end. One thing you need to think of while trading Huma is that last time we ran, it crashed down pretty much at the end of the day, which could very well happen once more. And the second ticker, TTOO, that I'm currently trading, what I did is I took a piece off, I added it back here, I covered some more here, and I had some orders at in the low 30s, I think at 32, which got filled. As long as we stay right here, right in this kind of 230 range, I'm happy with it. But as soon as we get back down towards 220, I'm going to be looking to cover and to stop out there. I don't want to be holding something that is too weak, but right now I'm looking also at the big time frames, and for now we're looking pretty good. I mean, we're still over the previous resistance area, which is now support. So I'm pretty happy with the position I have right now. Still looking for a push over that area towards 250-ish if I can, and well, it gives me a nice risk reward. So my average now is 229. I've got a stop of 224-ish, 223, right around there, which gives me a 610 stop against a move to 250. All right, so let's recap the day. What happened? So TTOO, what I did is started longing here, as I said, and once we kind of started moving toward the high of day, and we tried and couldn't break it twice, basically putting in a triple top or even like 4 tops here, and came back. It started looking weak. I mean, we didn't see any volume, no real volume on the attempted breakout, so I closed up the trade, and well, as you can see, it worked out in the end. So maybe should have kept my stop a bit lower. And right here tried one more long for the break of 45, but we kept absorbing on the ask and never got back in. Regarding the other ticker, which was Humo, we got the breakdown finally, right? Tried to catch it with some size, so I had to stop out quite a bit. And once we tried breaking right here, breaking down, and reclaimed right away on bigger volume, bigger buying volume, I thought they might try to push it towards the high of the day or 520 before letting it crash down. So I kind of had a long bias right in here. I closed out the trade right away as it didn't work out, and started reshorting. Got stopped out once more over the resistance area on this candle. Restarted back in, thinking, all right, and this time gonna let it, have a bit more room to move, and if it works out, I'm gonna add to the trade, right? So didn't stop me out right here and started working nicely, and then I knew exactly, right, I saw the chart the last time Humo ran, and we faded hard into the close. So added right away over 10. I waited for some kind of pop back to VWAP, but we didn't get it, so I knew, right, most likely we're gonna fade back to red on the day like the last time. I did just over 4 and basically wrote it down all the way to the 320s, and last order at 293 near the low of the day. So yeah, overall green day, a bit complicated, especially on Humo, but on TTOO, what happened was I had a short bias first round. I stopped right away with the short idea. I ended up, and I saw the data that they posted, but could have held long better on this one. I mean, the trend is clear, it's holding, so should have had the stop a bit lower. On Humo, overall, should maybe have tried, to trade a little bit less size in the morning. Last time the same, it ran and then crashed down at the end of the day, and yeah, thought we might see the fade right away out of the gates. Didn't cover any piece in here. Got stopped out quite a lot before finally it working, so I could have really, I could have managed it better in a way that I had a hard time trading size, and if I just had reserved 1/2 of my share size for the range over it, I could have had my stop higher. I would have gotten stopped out quite as much, and could have still added like I did in the end. So that's the few things that I didn't do as well as I should have, I think. But it's all hindsight. I mean, had a nice long as well, in the morning, as we talked before, as we talked about before. But with the hold here, just had to close it, and I didn't take advantage of that whole move up, unfortunately. All right, that's gonna be it. Hit the subscribe button and the like button, and I'll see you in the next one.